So this car is essentially a giant paperweight, and I have two Subaru WRXs, same year, same color, same model. Now, why in the world would I do this? Am I crazy for buying it is the question. Before I answer that question, I want to explain to you why no one ever builds these motors. So if you're thinking about building your Subaru and you have an FA20 or you have an FA24 or an EJ, just watch this video and you're gonna see how much it's gonna cost to really build your Subaru. Now, many would say doing this to a Subaru is actual masochism, and they would not be totally wrong. To get the car to this point, it actually requires a lot of time and money more than anything. You see, the issue with Subarus and why they're expensive is because they're essentially symmetrical. You have to pay for double the parts, and not to mention, because you can consider this as a bespoke type of car, meaning there aren't many ones like it in terms of platforms, right? This isn't a inline six, this isn't a 4-cylinder that's just hanging over the front of the subframe. This is a flat 4. There aren't many cars running this type of setup. And because of that, not a lot of people work on these cars. It's gotten better over the years. I'm in Georgia and there's maybe 2 shops in the entire state that will touch this, and I may be wrong about that. I've owned this car for 7 years and it's pretty much full bolt-on. I made a whole video about the mods and everything, and this is where the car essentially stops before the numbers and dollar values start astronomically climbing. So many people would ask, how much does it cost? How much does it cost? How much do all the parts you put on it cost? How much does it cost to build the engine? I'm gonna tell you in this video what you're gonna need, how much it's gonna cost, and we'll keep a tally that way. First and foremost, as you saw earlier, this engine doesn't run. So I think it spun a rod bearing. I don't know for sure. I saw some glittery in the oil. Yeah, oil's still a little glittery, so I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. If you are building this block, you're not putting it back to stock. You're going to upgrade it. You're gonna upgrade the weak points. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna break these out into separate components. I'm gonna first do the exterior components. In the exterior components, I have a master gasket kit, which includes all the gaskets and seals that you need to seal the engine once it's out. You're gonna need a fluid damper, which is essentially a better crank pulley. That's about $4.90. Obviously, spark plugs, probably budget those at $50, maybe $70. So because this block likely spun a bearing, all the oil and components are destroyed. That's about $2.90. Crankshaft, you're gonna need a new crankshaft. A new crankshaft is gonna run you about $660. That doesn't include potentially a new turbo, which you'll likely need a new turbo, so it varies. I can get the price and I'll put it here in the video. So for all the external components, you're looking at $1,840. Just baseline, it's already almost $2,000. So now we're gonna go into timing components, and this is arguably one of the more expensive things to do because you're buying double the parts. So the first thing is the engine timing guide, which is $40. You're gonna need 2 of those, so that's $80. There's a right one and a left one. You're gonna need 2 timing chains, which is gonna be about $300. The timing cover alone, which is the front part of the engine that also has all the oil galleys, that's $1,500. You're gonna need the inner and outer timing guides, which are about $80. You're gonna need the chain tensioner. There's 2 of them. Those are $80 each. And here's where things get interesting. So your exhaust cam, there's 2 of them because they're on separate sides of the engines. Those are $310 each. Intake cams, because they're also on separate sides of the engine, you're gonna need 2 of them. Those are also $310 each. So that's $620 per side. That is pretty wild to think. Internals. If I'm doing internals, I would likely upgrade. So what I would probably recommend for this upgrade is JE pistons, the Ultra series. Those are about $1,000. Manly H-Tough connecting rods, those are $630. Mainly the weak part in this engine is the rods and the pistons, so mainly the rods. But if you do the rods, you want to do the pistons, so you might as well just upgrade them. Additionally to that, you have ACL rod bearings, you need those. ACL main bearings, you need those. So the rod bearings are 40 and the main bearings are 112. APR head studs, definitely should do the APR head studs. There's no reason to go back to OEM bolts. Those are $260. This is where we get into the complicated. In the NA version of these engines, they're notorious for valve train issues. If you're gonna be running this car hard, you want reliability, because if it drops a valve, you bend a valve, that's gonna be some bad stuff happening inside that engine. I recommend doing Kelford cam drop-in. Those are $1,136. You're gonna have to get the heads built in order to receive the cams. You're gonna need some work, and I recommend going to Head Games. I think they're GSC valves and retainers, which are really good. They offer their head service. I think it's about $2,200. It's gonna make it more reliable. Some of the other peripherals that you'll probably want to do is you'll probably want to upgrade your cooling system. The thermostat's about $50. Water pumps $100, and then obviously your serpentine belt, you want to get a new serpentine belt. Additionally to that, the price does go up. You'll need a new oil sensor. 4 of these VVTi solenoids. So there's 4 of them. There's one for the cam, for intake cam on each side, and then one for the exhaust cam on each side. I think all in total, those are $560. Obviously, you'll need upper oil pan, lower oil pan. You kind of get the big picture. It's expensive, and none of these prices include actually assembling the block. And personally, this also doesn't include your case halves. I would probably just do new case halves if you were gonna do this. I just wouldn't reuse the same case half. You can reuse like all the big stuff, AC compressor, alternator, some of the other sensors on the block. It will save you some money, but the real bulk of the cost is really going to come down to the fact that you're buying double the parts, you're buying the internals, and then you're paying for somebody to assemble it. I don't know, depending on whether or not they're just putting the heads together. It can vary depending on region. And then that doesn't include, like, if the engine's out, you might want a clutch kit, which clutch kit's about $2,500 depending on what kit you go with. I mean, I hope this video was helpful, but the point that I'm making is I have no intention on rebuilding this engine. I may use some of the components from this engine and put it on this engine when I decide if it's still running. I mean, it has 111,000 miles on it. Knock on steel, knock on wood, whatever. But it should be noted that something else is going in here, and I'm still trying to figure out what that is exactly. But I have 2 ideas, and I'm seriously considering one of them over the other, and we'll see in the future. If you guys made it this far, you're a superstar. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.